Hello everybody, this is the notes for advanced geometry, and this is actually going to be sections 4.3, 4.4, and 4.5. They are all very closely related. They're all talking about different things, but they're all related towards one big topic, congruent triangles. So going into watching this in class, you guys worked on using the compasses and the protractors and the rulers to construct congruent triangles. All right, you guys made, you asked a couple of questions about what the length of this side is, what the measurement of this angle was, and you constructed congruent triangles. You made your triangle exactly the same as the one that I had. That's congruency. They are exactly the same. And you made those triangles using only a few pieces of information. And that's what these sections are about. We are trying to get triangles to be congruent with as little as possible, messing up the words on this, as little information as possible. Okay, what do you need to know to say these two triangles have to be congruent? And that's what these sections are about. So, as it says, there are 5 ways to show two triangles are congruent to each other. It does not matter which one you use. What does matter is what information do you have, okay? There are 5 ways. So go ahead, hit pause. You're going to copy down these 2 ways. The main things you're looking at here is the names, side, 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 angle, side, and the shortcut. The names kind of tell it all. If, this first one, go ahead, hit pause, copy this stuff down, then I'll talk about these 2. All right, so in this first one, postulate 19, side, 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 congruence postulate. Remember, a postulate is just something that we accepted as true. There's not really a proof for it, but it's just accepted as true. So if in 2 triangles, you can say you have all 3 pairs of congruent triangles, all 3 pairs of corresponding sides of those triangles, if you have that relationship where all 3 pairs of sides are congruent to each other, you're going to have the 2 triangles be congruent. And that's what we have here. If this side's congruent to, these 2 sides are congruent, these 2 sides are congruent, those 2 sides are congruent, then these 2 triangles have to be congruent to each other. All right, this bottom one, postulate number 20, is a different way. It's called side, angle, side. And so the same thing. If you have these 2 triangles where you have 2 pairs of corresponding sides congruent and the angle between those 2 pairs of sides, if those 2 angles are congruent, then you have congruent triangles. And so the name is just really how you go around the triangle. Side, angle, side. You're just moving around the triangle. You hit a congruent side, a congruent angle, and then another congruent side. Side, angle, side. If you can set up that correspondence between 2 triangles, those 2 triangles are going to be congruent to each other. So here's another one. It's called Hypotenuse-Leg. Again, take a second, copy it down. All right, for this one, I can't get rid of that blue box there. Oh well. This one only goes towards right triangles. Okay, the only time you have hypotenuses and legs is when you are dealing with a right triangle. So if your triangles are not right triangles, you're not going to use this theorem. It only works with right triangles. But what it says is if in a right triangle or in right triangles you have the hypotenuses congruent, hypotenuses are the sides across from the 90-degree angle, and you have a pair of corresponding legs congruent. Legs are the sides forming the right angle. If in a right triangle you can say the hypotenuses are congruent to each other and a pair of corresponding legs are congruent to each other, you're going to have congruent triangles. Again, take a second, copy these 2 down. We have angle, angle, and angle, angle, side. Okay, these ones, they basically work the same way. As you go around a triangle, angle, then a side, then an angle. So in the other triangle, corresponding congruent angle, corresponding congruent side, corresponding congruent second pair of angle. As you move around the triangle, you're hitting angle, side, angle. If you can set up that congruence, that correspondence, the 2 triangles are going to be congruent. And this bottom one, this is the 5th way. Same idea. This one's called angle, angle, side. So again, as you move around the triangle, angle, angle, and then a congruent side. It's got to be the same thing in the other triangle. Angle, corresponding side. So you got angle, angle, side. Again, if you can set up that correspondence, those congruent correspondences, you're going to have congruent triangles. That's 5 ways. Again, it does not matter which way you use, as long as you have that given information, or you can set up these correspondences to get that information. Okay, that's the first video, that's the notes. We're going to do some other examples, some proofs in a second video. We're going to be working on this for a couple of days. Again, it's 3 sections, but we're all putting it into one thing. That's it.